So that's the big question. Should bookkeepers provide tax preparation services? Do they need to do taxes as an accountant or bookkeeper, or can they just stick to the bookkeeping? Now, I get calls all the time from bookkeepers that we're helping with their accounting and bookkeeping websites, and they're asking me whether or not they need to provide these tax preparation services because they're kind of scared about it. Now, I'm going to make the case for why I believe the most valuable financial service to a business owner is a one-stop shop accountant that I call the outsourced accounting model. Now, in order to become an outsourced accountant, you'll need to perform tax returns, which for the most part are going to result in a bigger retainer. The goal is to determine how you could be the most valuable asset to this business owner and to make the biggest impact in their operations within your efficiencies, passions, and scope of work. If bookkeepers provide a full gamut of valuable services for a single monthly fee, they can create massive efficiencies for the clients, their businesses, and they're going to be able to charge a much more substantial monthly retainer. Now, what services should be included in this outsourced accounting model? Now, first off, you got to realize there's two parts to this. The first is the Upfront Project, and then you have the accounting services, right? The Upfront Project is usually backup bookkeeping and the creation of a tax plan. You'll want to protect yourself a bit with an upfront project fee because you'll see that onboarding new clients takes a lot of time and effort, and your cleanup represents months of services that they should have been performing, but they have not. Now, besides that, you need to account for backup bookkeeping as well. So here's the services that in the outsourced accountant model you'll want to include. First of all, you have catch-up bookkeeping. Then you have ongoing bookkeeping services, keep bookkeeping software itself, the monthly financial reporting, payroll software, running payroll, creation of a tax plan, paying in tax estimates according to that tax plan, business advisory services, personal tax returns, business tax returns, and then personal wealth coaching, almost being like a financial advisor, right? Now, these services are all predicated on a couple of meetings throughout the year, and then the accountant performing monthly bookkeeping, reporting, and then updating a simple tax plan. I'm not just recommending that you prepare taxes. I'm actually recommending that you serve as this outsourced accountant because that's what they really deserve, and that's what creates the best service for you as an accountant. I found that bookkeeping on its own and taxes on their own are not very valuable to business owners. The services rolled together, though, they create a synergy of efficiency, and it increases the quality of the advice that you're going to give. And bottom line is there's a ton of benefits to it, right? Plus, bookkeeping is kind of a commodity. If you're looking for an easy job, bookkeeping probably isn't it, especially because it's a little bit low paying now. There's all these promises across the internet that you can travel the world and have tremendous freedom while you provide a bookkeeping service to business owners, but you need to remember that it's becoming a commodity. India in particular has a highly competent accountant workforce, and they all have serious credentials. And they have slowly been becoming the solution to high prices in the bookkeeping services. And even QuickBooks will do your bookkeeping for a couple $100s a month. There are hordes of bookkeepers across the nation and the world eager to reconcile transactions and perform the universal language of accounting. Bookkeeping is slowly becoming cheap and commoditized, but it's still valuable. And if you do it right, it can be huge. And there's really a strange dynamic. On one hand, it's a commoditized service, right? But on the other, it serves as the foundation for all great tax planning and all the great accounting services that I want you to perform in this model. So it's important. For the outsourced accountant to provide great tax planning and give excellent advice and make the business owners' lives easy, bookkeeping is the foundation of that accounting wisdom. Everything is predicated on great bookkeeping. The bottom line is that I believe there's a strong case to be made for bookkeepers to also provide tax services. And here's 7 specific points to highlight to just bring this to mind, right? Now, number 1, tax returns are the primary reason why you want good books. That sounds kind of silly, but the one main reason why you want good books is so that you can get the taxes done correctly, right? Most small businesses are at a point where their accounting is really there to account for taxes, because they haven't progressed to where they're projecting their business financials or analyzing their ratios and reports. They'll eventually grow to that point, but most of these guys, they just need to make sure that their taxes are done right. Now, number 2 is that the business taxes cause action. In fact, nothing spurs business owners to action like the tax deadline, right? Google searches alone can show us how important tax season and business taxes are. And this is great because if you add tax preparation to your Google My Business and your website talks about it, you'll rank in the local search results for searches like tax prep near me, business tax near me, tax accountants near me. And in a way, it's kind of cheating. The IRS deadlines force business owners to deal with this every single year, so they kind of churn you. And if they don't, they're going to lose everything and even end up in jail. Tax returns are the ultimate needs-based service. Every business owner absolutely needs to deal with their annual tax returns or they go to jail. So now number 3 is that bookkeeping on its own will lead to extra messing around. And I want you to hear me on this. It leads to messing around. If a business has a bookkeeper and then a separate tax person, the business owner has to mess around coordinating between the two of you. And this happened to me, and I absolutely hated it. Sure, you're paying 2 different fees, and that's kind of frustrating. But the real pain is that I had to line up 2 sets of meetings and coordinate the back and forth between the bookkeeper and the tax person. And at the end of that wasn't like the end of the world, but my time's important to me, and it is for your other business owners. When an accountant chooses to do both taxes and bookkeeping, the business owner doesn't have to mess around. They can just contact one person. There's more value to that than what you understand. Business owners love the outsourced accountant model. That brings me to number 4. The outsourced accountant model is just valuable. Now, this is kind of piling on a little bit, but business owners like this one-stop shop. They prefer it, and they'll pay more for it. And how do I know? Well, I grew a firm from 0 to 150 small businesses and plus, from 0 to $1 million in less than 24 months. I handled dozens of clients that would call in and say that they thought their current solution was too expensive at $1,500 for a tax return. And when I was done with them, they were ready to pay way more with us because they understood how valuable it was going to be. If you want to learn how to land more accounting clients kind of like that, I want to give away all the experience that I have. You can get that sales training with my outsourced accounting online course. You just go to feedbackwrench.com, and up at the top, you'll see there's an accountant link and you can go there. But just the bottom line is this is valuable and people will pay more for it. Now, the other thing is it's just better than this DIY solution, right? You need to realize that business owners, if they don't work with you, they're probably going to do it on their own. Now, you might not want to do taxes right now because you're scared or you've never done it, but you can do it. You can learn how. Now, besides that, you should remember that if you don't do the tax return for them, they're either going to do it themselves or probably pay someone who's not very good to do it. You can learn to do taxes and you'll be great at it. Trust me. Remember that year-round tax advice and proactive tax planning is so crucial to a business owner that any and every solution without that proactive advice is just not good. It's damaging and bad for the business owner. You should take the charge, get some training, and start preparing taxes together with this full outsourced accounting model, right? The other thing is this anxiety that business owners have is super valuable. That's number 6. What you don't know is that at the end of the year, there's this giant paradigm with business owners. Business owners that don't have a good outsourced accountant will be forced to just pay in estimates from the previous year or pay in according to their own whims or pay in according to some estimates. And at year end, the business owner is usually full of anxiety and stress and they're just dreading it because they're waiting to find out if they have a giant tax bill or if they're going to get money back. It's incredibly stressful as business owners to sit and wait to find out your fate. But you can make this super stressful dynamic disappear. Outsourced accountants, when providing this proactive service throughout the year, will help pay in tax estimates according to a tax plan, which leads to a predictable year end and makes life manageable and takes away this stress. So year end is easier for you as well. So you're going to take away stress. You're going to make their life easy. And because you're doing the bookkeeping and accounting through the year, you're going to find that life is better for you to do that tax return. It's actually quite easy. So number 7, you get better advice and real planning by doing this. On top of all that, you'll see that you can actually give excellent tax advice in quarter 3 and quarter 4 to help them avoid tax bombs and make better business decisions. Real tax planning must be implemented before the end of the year. That's the bottom line. We all know that. Everything meaningful in the tax reduction world needs to be done in a proactive way before the end of the year. You cannot be reactive at the end of the year. You need to manage your salary. You got to manage your business entity type, and you have to make purchases before the year end. And that's where all the absolute meaningful tax planning is going to be done. So to summarize all of this, I think that you should absolutely avoid doing bookkeeping on its own or even tax returns on its own, and instead focus on doing this outsourced accountant model that you can get training for, and you can learn how to do this for $500 for my online course for accountants. Go to feedbackwrench.com, go up to the top, and you'll see the little link for accountants. And we do websites and advertising for accountants, but we also have that course. And I'm telling you, folks love it. It's going to help you be better. It's going to help you close more sales. You're going to understand what's valuable. I'm going to show you the threads to pull. But I'm telling you, if you're a bookkeeper, I would highly recommend getting some training to do taxes. Now, like and subscribe if you enjoy this. Good luck. God bless. Looking forward to an opportunity to connect with you. Book a call with us, and we can find out a way to generate leads and sales and take all these value propositions and put them on your website. Good luck. God bless.